Kuzangpo and welcome to this program. Well, many of us might have used or are using what is known as, when it comes to technology, which has already been there, GPS, Global Positioning System in the country. But in the recent times, this a group has come up with what they call themselves a Druk GPS team, who are advocating the use of this GPS system here in the country. And to discuss further on this, I have here with me Ugendoji, the founder of Druk GPS team, and also his friend Sonam Togye, who is also co-founder of this Druk GPS team. Welcome to this program. So I would like to start with the founder, Ugendoji. If you can tell us about your project or the thing that you are doing this as Druk GPS team. What is it, if you can tell us?
Well, we are basically COVID-affected people. Well, I'm civil engineer, so because of the pandemic, I got a lot of free time, and then I thought I should do something. And then the first lockdown, I have started to research on GPS coordinate system. Over 3 months, I have been quite busy in the research, and then I felt that I needed a research team. So I requested my co-founder to help me, and then two of us also required people who are Desuups and tour guides. Why Desuups? For search and rescue operation, and for tour guides, we need a person who has experience in tracking, and for this reason we selected the team, and the team is guided by Mr. Sringirup. He's a teacher and Desuups, and we started this project, and this project we took 8 months and to design the program it took us 3 months, and we have 2 training category. One standard course, Introduction to the GPS coordinate system, and other one is Advanced in GPS coordinate system. So GPS basically stands for Global Positioning System. Many of us thinks that GPS is a tracker that is inserted in the car, or some feel that it is a very complex nature. However, we do GPS team is here to advocate that GPS can be used in a very simplest form, and we have trained 80 tour guides in 4 batches, and that today 80 of our trainees are using the GPS just like any other social media platforms, and that is what it makes our project unique.
Okay, when you say you did research on GPS for the last 8 months, so why do research? Because GPS has already been there, people had been using, like those who are like in the field of military or even construction, even used by army or navigation. So many people had been using GPS in the world for last many years. So what has been your research on? What did you find?
Well, I was actually inspired by one of my friend. He said, "Oh, you are using GPS coordinates in your construction projects. Why don't you advocate on this?" Then I felt, "Sir, you do not know." He said, "No, I have no idea." Then I have been sharing my thoughts and ideas with many. I did some survey. I even went to ex-CEO of Druk GPS and did some presentation on the GPS coordinate system. They are aware of, they were aware of the GPS system, but not coordinate system. So then I realized that it was a big thought. Yes, I think many of us still do not understand what is GPS coordinate system. So then we did more and more research, and then today we are here.
Okay. If the co-founder Sonam Togye can also share with us from the research and also what were the findings as he has mentioned. But Apart from what already exists, where can GPS be used presently here in the country as you advocate, give training to people?
Yes. First of all, kuzampu to the viewers lah, and thank you BBS for having us here and giving us the opportunity lah. So when it comes to GPS, you know, I had a little bit of awareness before, but I was not aware about the complete use of GPS, especially the coordinate system. So it was Mr. Ugen, the founder of our team. So he called me when I was in border along the international border down there in Gelifula. So I was serving as a Desuup down there. So by profession I'm a lawyer, but I'm also a Desuup, so active Desuup and a tour guide. So due to this pandemic, so we were having a lot of free time. So I was passionate to serve my nation. So I went down there to Gelifu. So when I was down there, so I had no awareness, more awareness about GPS. So it was later the founder, Mr. Ugen, he called me up and then he said, like, I've been researching more on this GPS system almost for 3 months. And then he called and then he said, like, why don't you help me with this? So I said, okay, fine. So after serving down there for 4 months, I immediately came back to Thimphu and then we started to do more research on this. And then later we realized that people do not have full awareness about the GPS system, how it can help in day-to-day activities, like giving locations, not just the tracking device, but giving locations, going to that place. Even for Desuups, we felt it is very necessary for Desuups because we go for like forest fire stimulation, we go for forest fire and everything. It's not just the fire, it's also about the wild animal and anything, where you can be a victim towards the animals. So where you can give the distress signal. So in the mountains it's very difficult for us to give the particular location. So we thought, like, if we can use this GPS coordinate system and then it can be very beneficial to give locations, the coordinate system of that particular place. So we felt it's very necessary. Okay. So this is how we have been working together for last almost 8 months now.
Okay, when you say to give the location, or if there's a distress call by somebody, or even to locate your friends, family, but do we need some kind of gadgets, as we see the surveyors use gadgets to mark land and all? But what kind of gadgets do we have? Or do we need to have to use GPS personally?
Yes, thank you so much for this question. So if you have a gadget, it's well and good, but like our vision. Our vision is, keeping in line with His Majesty's vision, whereby use of technology effectively and efficiently. So based on that, most of us today, I should not be saying every one of us, but most of us do have cell phones, like smartphones. We do have smartphones. So smartphones do have applications. Any GPS can work. You can just need to download the applications in our phone, and then a basic awareness should be needed. So after that, if you have a cell phone, you can just give your coordinates anywhere in the world. You can be anywhere in the world. You just need to send the coordinates to relevant agencies where you work. For me, I work in Desuup as a volunteer. So if there is a problem during any kind of operation, I can give my coordinates to my superior or my Goji.
Okay, Mr. Ugen can tell us more about this. When we say GPS or the coordinates you're talking about, how relevant is this for our tour guides, since they are also free, because without tourism here in the country, so you were giving this training, the use of GPS and coordinates to guides. What has been their response, and how useful is this for the guides?
Thank you, sir. We have trained 80 tour guides so far. Why we have identified tour guides as one of the important important people who is working in the tourism sector, where mostly the guides they have to escort that international guest in the mountains, and our main objectives here is for the safety and security of our international guests. So then we felt that this is really important for the tour guides to know at least how to send, read and generate the coordinates. So in the event of the disaster situations, even to there are cases where people have many of us many of our friends have used this to fire and to create a smoke to call the helicopters or to locate the position. But now we do not have to do that. We can send GPS works in all weather conditions, and we can send a distress signal using using these coordinates. It can create the beeline between the destination and origin for the helicopter, so that without wasting much time, we can timely and safely evacuate the person who is injured.
Okay. With this, we also know that now people use smartphones, and you are saying the GPS can be used in all weather conditions. But still, then it seems like we need to have a good network, mobile connectivity, and also internet for this. How is it done?
Well, for the city dwellers, there isn't much problem, but especially when you are in the mountain, in the forest, where network coverage is not there, but that time this distress signal, so as I said, GPS works in all weather conditions. So we just need to get the signal from the satellite. Using the help of satellite, we can get the signal into your device, and then you can send. Since Bhutan is almost 80%, there is a network coverage, and 70 to 80% also uses smartphone. So with our technology, we can solve 70% of Bhutan's problem in this situation.
Okay. Now talking about the training or the course, day-long course that you are giving to a group of guides these days. So what does your training actually contain? What are some of the things you start with in your course? How have you designed your course?
Well, to design this training in two categories. So category one is standard course. We have kept it introduction to the GPS coordinate system. So in this content, we cover the concept behind the technology. So inside the content, we actually have the time calculations, because the distance is calculated using the distance formula, the speed into time. Since the Earth's speed is constant, so we cover the time calculation, longitude calculations, coordinate calculations. Some GPS most of the GPS GPS application, the format is in decimal degree, so we have to convert this into degree, minutes, seconds, and back to decimal degree from degree, minutes, seconds, because these two conversions are very important. Some of the app gives DMS, degree, minutes, seconds. Some gives decimal degree. So we need to know how to convert. And we also cover in an introductory course. We also cover some portion of UTM, Universal Traverse Marketer, so that some of the UTM coordinates are being used in other countries. So we need to know two basic things. So this conversion also being taught, and of all our course, standard course is based on activity based. So where we have designed in such a way that our trainees, they are always engaged, and for morning session it's activity session, and then afternoon we have a practical session, finding team A by team B. Likewise, we have done for specialized or exclusive course, which is 3 to 5 days course. We have to travel in the forest, where we can create route, we can trace route, then we can use offline, and both on Android and even during the forest fire simulations, where we can allocate the team A, B, C, D using the laptop, considering ourselves as a base, and then we allocate team not you go from Lanjifaka or from Tharigimpa or from Lungtenpo, but we can allocate team using coordinate system. Team A can also, during the forest fire, team A can also send the coordinates of water pond where team B can drink water. These are very important during the forest fire.
Okay, if Sonam sir can also tell us about what has been the response from those who participated in the training, the Desuups or the guides, what did they say about this?
Thank you so much. When it comes to guides, first of all, I should be thanking the GAP Association of Bhutan, the Guide Association of Bhutan, who gave us the platform to implement our ideas. So based on that, we got good response. And then, at first, the guides, they had a basic, few guides had basic ideas, and then few guides did not have any idea about what we were talking about and what we were training. So towards the end of the day, so we got 100% satisfaction from all the guides, and we got good response. And when it comes to Desuups, for now, the Desuup training officers and their deployment team, they felt it very necessary for them. So they have assured us that that we will be working more on giving more training towards Desuup at the same time.
Okay, so far it is the Desuup and the guides, and also presently you are training the group of guides. But had there been any such training or knowledge by institutions or like the surveyor, foresters, the use of GPS generating or sending coordinates and so on? What has been your findings from your research or from the training you are giving?
So when it comes to other institutions who are actually giving this training on GPS, we have come to know that there are few other agencies, like other agencies, especially in schools, they are actually teaching about this GIS system and artificial intelligence and everything. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that we are here just to share about GPS and then spread awareness, for people who doesn't know. And then people who doesn't know, people who are not aware about the technology. So we thought, it is the right time that during this pandemic, it is the right time that we should deliver this awareness and then fulfill the visions of His Majesty the King.
Okay, Ugen sir, again, are there any other usage of this GPS practical usage here in the urban areas, for instance, in Thimphu? Because so far people have been complaining about we don't have proper addresses to locate location or house or any addresses. Do you think your GPS this training or your team can collaborate with our Tromde and tell them this GPS can be used in finding places or locating a place?
Before I come back to your question, I would like to say something about route creations using GPS coordinate system. So suppose if Sir Ishe, you are going to Dungso, the favorite place of a Bhutanese, and suddenly there is snowfall up there in the mountain, and you have to due to depression in Bay of Bengal, and you have to be back at your home timely and safely. Why timely? Because before the dark you have to be there. Why safely? You are in the mountain and you cannot see anything, so you might slip. So that time you can always call me, Ugen, can you send me the Google KML file which there is a route you have already created. So then when I send it to you, then once you connect from origin to destinations, this will run into in offline mode. Likewise, using coordinate system, we can do a lot. We are requesting, we are going to in collaboration with Guide Association of Bhutan, we are going to request Tourism Council of Bhutan that give us a pilot project, and we will create a route of Druk Patla from Paro to Thimphu. So coordinate system can do many things. You can do your own survey, you can calculate the area of your own house to the scale, approximately 95 to 90. We can, by sitting here, we can calculate the area of the lake. So using coordinate system, and in this I recently read an article in the Kunsal. Maybe we are trying to contact Thimpu Thomdela. So since he being from the engineering background, he might welcome our idea, and where we are going to not only give the city address, we want to mark the every building in coordinate system, and so that anybody, our idea, basically we have simplified GPS coordinate system, which was very complex nature, in so much so that even the illiterate can learn within 5 minutes. So we can, maybe Druk GPS can assist Thomde in giving a coordinate system to mark the address, so that anybody can punch and reach the destinations.
Okay, you just mentioned illiterate, because using a smartphone means somebody has to know how to read coordinates, and so how can our illiterate take advantage of this technology?
Well, just about a few minutes ago, I've explained that this 80 of our trainees, they are using our ideas just like WeChat.
Okay.
So this in Bhutan, WeChat is quite famous for our Bhutanese population, within the Bhutanese population. So as long as you know how to use WeChat, our GPS is just like WeChat.
Okay. So it's illiterate, or those who cannot read and write can also use.
Yes, so actually our aims and objective is to impart the ideas to all the Bhutanese citizens, so that we can save time, resources, and lives. Just if I cite one example, in 2020, our His Majesty has spent a lot of hard currency to track one woman in the Middle East.
Okay.
And the woman has sent the distress signal using social media, Facebook. Had she known our ideas, then without wasting search and rescues resources and time, we would have timely and safely evacuated the women. Okay. And likewise, there were almost hundreds of our Bhutanese women who were trafficked in the Middle East. They would not have had this problem, and we have approached Labour Ministry to share our ideas.
Okay, when we say about saving resources, but to form this team to do research and on, what kind of support from anywhere else, from the government or from anyone? We need a lot of fund, I guess. So from where did you get, or where are you getting support?
Our project is supported by women. One woman who has always been with the team, Madam Karma Yangzom of Kiang Enterprise. She supported us with Nugultram 300,000, and Kembo Theten of Sechin Monastery in France also supported with 50,000, and likewise we are being supported by the Little Fund, supported by many others like like Gupsam Rupa and all. They have supported us. So, but we are generating few more 100,000. We are on a mission to go to 20 Songkhak to train 20 to 25 Desuups. Then so that we can, through network, our program can be imparted to all the Desuups of Bhutan. This will be the gift to our beloved His Majesty for tirelessly working towards fight against the COVID-19 to safeguard and protect every one of us. And we are the Kidu recipient, and we have utilized this Kidu money in this research. And likewise, we are generating fund by going department to department. We are just charging a nominal fee. We will train their staff, the department staff, like Bhutan Telecom has agreed, Bhutan Narcotic has agreed to support our ideas. One day training we are charging Nugultram 20,000, 20,000 to sustain ourselves. The surplus money we want to use this to go entire nation to advocate on GPS coordinate system. Likewise, we will come to education. We have trained 5 teachers so far, 1 trainee and 3 geography teacher and 1 Zonghua teacher. So total we have trained 5 teachers. So that these 5 teachers can impart the ideas with the Ministry of Education.
Okay, if Sonam has anything to close this program.
First of all, thank you once again for giving us the opportunity. I should be very thankful because this is one of the platforms where we can share and then spread the awareness about the use of the technologies, not just the GPS, but there are multiple technologies when it comes to cell phones. So when you have the cell phones in your hand, not just WeChat and WhatsApp and everything, but in terms we have to use the technology properly and then efficiently. Because our country is very small. Our country is very small and we have very limited resources. So we should not be wasting a lot of amount investing in the other resources whereby which is available. We should be using it properly, and then we hope that that we will be successful by implementing our ideas to almost all the guides. This is where we are targeting almost all the tour guides, and then at the same time to all the Desuups. At the same time, other agencies where we have promised ourselves that we will be implementing to them, like Bhutan Nunnery Foundation and then the Shungdasang, that we will be targeting, because we do not want to neglect them at the same time. So we will make sure that each and every one of them also knows about how to use the technology effectively and efficiently. So on this, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity.
Yes, I would like to thank Ugen Doji, the founder of Druk GPS team, and also co-founder Sonam Topge, for your time and sharing with us what this GPS team, Druk GPS team, is all about. And I hope there will be interest from the Bhutanese to use this technology, like you said, efficiently and also to the best to save our resources, save time, and also to enhance or develop the use of digital technology here in the country. And thank you for watching this program.